Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel by clicking on the red subscribe button.
Hi guys, welcome back to my new video. Before I start the video content, I would like to thank all my subscribers. I recently crossed 2,000 subscribers. It took me a while to reach this number, so I really appreciate and would like to thank all my subscribers. From the YouTube data, I know there are also others who watch my video content but did not subscribe. I also like to thank you. I have also turned on this feature called Super Thanks. So under every video there will be a thanks icon. It's just YouTube way of allowing the audience to send their token of appreciation to the content creator. So if you click on the icon, I think it will allow you to send a small sum of money to the content creator, that is me, right? So okay, just something new on my channel. So for today's video, I will be talking about this Lomo lens. It's a lens that can cover up to 8x10.
It is a 360mm f10 lens
made by Lomo. This is what we know as a process lens. It's usually used in reproduction of graphics and all that. It's usually very sharp. So what it doesn't have is that it doesn't have a shutter. So you need to use it as a barrel lens, right? So my friend have this lens. He saw my recent videos on projection lens. If you have not watched the video, you can click on the link on the top right hand corner where I adapted a Rollei projection lens to a Copal 3 shutter. So my friend also has the Copal 3S shutter, which is slightly different from the Copal 3 shutter, and asked me if I could adapt the lens to this shutter, right? I say let me give it a try. So in this video I'm going to talk about that, how I 3D design the adapter, print it, and then I do a quick test shot. So do follow me as I go through the process. Okay, let's go. Alright, what do we have here today? Right, this is the Lomo 360mm f10 lens. This is a Russian lens, and also a Copal 3S shutter. This is the shutter that is used on the Fujifilm 250 soft focus lens. I have also done a video on the Fujifilm 250mm soft focus lens. If you have not watched the video yet, please click on the link on the top right hand corner somewhere here. Right? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to try to print an adapter to adapt the lens to the shutter. Right? Alright, so the adapter is printed. So for 3D printing, the printing of especially internal thread is a bit tricky. The dimension usually do not print out as what you have designed. So I have to do some trial and error. So what I usually do is to print a short layer where I can test out the dimension, and if it's too big or too small, I will make very minute adjustment and reprint, right, until I can print out something that fit onto the lens properly and also on the shutter. Then I will continue to print it full size. Right, so finally I managed to print this out. As I mentioned, for 3D printed thread, it doesn't work as fine as a metal thread, right? So we have to be careful and make sure that we turn it in slowly and nicely. Okay, so why is there a second Copal 3 shutter here? Right, this is my own copy of the Fujifilm 250 soft focus lens. I have it on a Copal 3 lens board. So what happened here is that the Copal 3S shutter that belonged to my friend is mounted onto his 8x10 camera lens board, which is I think 5 inches by 5 inches. By the way, this is also a 3D printed lens board. This lens board does not fit my 4x5 or 8x10 lens. So I decided I will use my Copal 3 shutter, which is already mounted on the Linhof lens board, and use it on my 4x5 camera. Right? So I remove the lens element and then put in the lens. Right? So we remove both elements. Essentially, we are just using the shutter on this Copal 3 shutter, and the aperture will still set from the lens itself. So on the Copal 3S shutter, we will leave the aperture at the biggest f5.6, right, something like this, and the lens will be mounted on top of here, but the aperture will be using the one that's on the lens. Okay, so let me show you how I screw in the lens from another angle. right? Always make sure that it's very square and straight to the adapter before you screw it in, right? Because if you force it in, you'll find that it's possible to squeeze it in because this is just a PLA, so it's quite soft. So make sure it's aligned straight and proper before you screw it in. And then from here, we will screw it in into the Copal thread itself, right? Again, make sure it's seated up and straight. Turn it in slowly. Right, so we got it. Lomo 360mm lens adapted to a Copal 3S shutter mounted on the Linhof board. So let's do a test shoot now. Alright, so this is the result of the shot. So I only take one shot with the Lomo Graph-Lok Instax bag on my 4x5 camera. You can see in the video that I set up a strobe and all that because the lens being at f10 is quite dim when I try to shoot it indoor. And not to mention, of course, the shutter speed will be quite slow even for Instax film of ISO 800, right? So right, this is the film cartridge from the Instax white film. So what you can do is that you can recycle it to be a frame holder, right? Just slot it into this slot and then it will be a frame holder, right? Okay. So I will say that the conversion is successful. The result is fine. In fact, the lens is sharper than I thought. Might be a bit too sharp for some. Yep, so this is shot at f16, 1/125. I did not open up to f10 because my strobe was already at the lowest settings, the lowest power settings, and I couldn't move it any further. Nor do I want to move my subject back further, right? So I used it at f16, so it turned out to be very sharp. Hi guys, thank you for watching to the end of this video. I think you can see that this adapter works. Despite it's 3D printed, I think it should hold on for a while. I only use it on my 4x5 lens because I just want to have a quick way of testing out the lens with the adapter. So what are my comments on this lens? I think the first one that is sharp, right? I know I shot this at f16, but it's really sharp, especially on Instax white film. Usually it's a little bit less sharp than shooting on the normal film, right? The other thing I will say that this is a slow lens at f10. So when I try to shoot it indoor, I find that on my ground glass it is very dim. That is why I will set up the strobe, and I can make use of the modeling light to light up my model, and then I could focus much easier. So I think you need to use this lens in a bright condition, maybe in outdoor or when you have very good light. Right? Otherwise, to consider using a strobe. And I think it worked very well with the Lomo Graph-Lok bag, and I'm quite happy with this result, right? So I'm going to pass this lens and adapter back to my friend and hope you enjoy using it, okay? Again, thank you for watching to this video. I'll see you in my next one. Thank you. Bye. Hi guys, we have come to the end of this video. Please like it, share it, and finally do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you at my next video. Take care. Bye.